Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, April 5th. Today is Monday, April 5th, and being that it's the first Monday of the month, this is the Division of Child Support Services here in the state of Delaware's Child Support Connection. This is going to be an event that is, just to remind people, we hold the first Monday of every month. My name is Ted Murmagos, and I'm the Division Director here in the state of Delaware at the Division of Child Support Services. We are one of 11 divisions within the Department of Health and Social Services here in the state. And this gives individuals an opportunity to ask questions related to Delaware's child support program and some of the things that we are doing here to try and make sure those who have been ordered to pay child support are actually making the court-ordered child support payments, and to just provide people with some of the things that we do at child support to make sure that happens. So I always like to start off by sharing a little bit about some of the things that we do at child support, and also to remind people, obviously the pandemic is continuing, so we're asking folks to call our customer service unit, and I'm going to give you the phone number. It's 302-577-7171. And speak to a child support specialist to see if it's truly necessary for you to come to the child support office. They are very good about triaging your particular situation, and will provide you with other means to get information to us. If that, it's rather than coming in, if you can email it to us or fax it to us or something along those lines, or to relay a message to the actual child support specialist that's actually handling your case. There's a way that we can communicate with you without it being necessary for you to actually come into the child support office. Hopefully, as more people in the state of Delaware continue to become vaccinated, we'll receive guidance from our governor about opening state offices back to the original way that we used to do things. So I'm certainly hoping that happens sooner rather than later. But for right now, we're asking people to call us if you feel like you need to come and see us at the child support office, and make an appointment to do so. Hopefully, we can triage your particular situation and you won't have to actually make a visit to our office. The other thing I wanted to share is it's always good for those who have a child support case, even if you're getting child support payments, to keep us up to date on your mailing address, phone number, cell phone number, email address. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about a new system we're going to be putting in place in April or May of this year, called our Proactive Customer Notification System, where we'll be able to communicate with you proactively through an email address or sending you a text message to your cell phone. So we're always looking to update contact information so that we can keep in touch with you. And it's always good. Sometimes if people are receiving their child support payments and everything is great with their child support case, they lose track of, hey, I moved but didn't let child support know, or I moved and didn't let the family court know. Always important to keep your address, phone number, email address up to date with the child support office, so that we can keep in contact with you about things that are happening at child support. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. I'm going to talk a little bit about that customer proactive notification system a little bit later. So the other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about are some of the enforcement tools that we have at the child support office. Obviously, one of our main functions is to collect child support payments from non-custodial parents, and send them to custodial parents here in the state of Delaware and around the country. But we're also responsible for making sure that children who are born in Delaware have paternity established. Paternity being established, it really applies more so for children who are born out of wedlock. Because if mom and dad are married when the child is born, paternity is automatically established for that child based on the fact that the parties were married. But we really have a responsibility at the Child Support Office to make sure that children who are born out of wedlock actually have paternity established. There's so many positive aspects for that child to know who their biological mother is, who their biological father is, and who their biological parents are, so that it can not only help them emotionally to be connected to their parents, but to also, for medical histories, for Social Security benefits. If one of those two parents passes away, they may be eligible for Social Security benefits. But it's so important to have that paternity established. And we can help people establish paternity for children in Delaware through our voluntary acknowledgement of paternity program, totally free. Just requires a notification of the voluntary acknowledgement of paternity form. So if you're believe you're the biological father and you want to voluntarily admit paternity, you can contact the Child Support Office and we will send you a voluntary acknowledgement of paternity form. And you can actually complete that document. We'll help you by notarizing it, and we'll actually send that document to the Office of Vital Statistics. But both parents have to sign off on it, voluntarily acknowledging paternity. And then the other thing is with genetic testing. We can help both parents, even if there isn't a child support case here in the state of Delaware, and the child was born out of wedlock. If both parents want to have genetic testing done, and say they're together, but they're not married, we can help establish paternity with the help of our current vendor right now is LabCorp. We can help kind of hook those parents up with LabCorp to have genetic testing done so that child's birth certificate can be updated appropriately. So paternity establishment is definitely an important part of the process that we do here in the state of Delaware. The other thing is, we have locate tools, and we can locate custodial and non-custodial parents with the use of state, local, and federal locate tools like the DMV, like the Department of Labor records. We get information from the federal government through the Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement, so that will help us locate non-custodial parents and custodial parents here in the state of Delaware. So it's just one of the things that we do. Information is coming in and out of the state, and we're transmitting information to the federal government on custodial and non-custodial parents. But it helps us do our job. But like I said several times as we've done these Facebook Live events, the most important piece of information, more times than not, is coming from the custodial parent or from folks that the custodial parent may have contact with out in the community. We need custodial parents to play an active role in helping us enforce those child support orders. We could not do it without the help of custodial parents. The other thing is, one of the things that I've tried to work hard on as I've been division director here at Delaware's Child Support Office is to engage non-custodial parents. Non-custodial parents, it is so important that they keep in contact with the Child Support Office here in the state of Delaware. So if you know a non-custodial parent who is concerned about their child support case but is leery about calling the Child Support Office or coming into a Child Support Office when we're fully back up and running, I want you to show them this video and show them that we want them to come and talk to us at Child Support so that we can help them get on the right track if they're not making their child support payments, and try to help them get their case moving in the right direction. You know, one of the things I see, I have a comment here, and I'll go ahead and read that in a few minutes. The one thing I want to stress to people is this, and share this with non-custodial parents. We here at Child Support do not, I repeat, do not have local or state police in our lobbies waiting for people. We don't do that. We would rather engage the non-custodial parent in a conversation about how to work their child support case and answer their questions about their child support case. Incarcerating or locking somebody up does nobody any good. Doesn't do the child any good, doesn't do the custodial parent any good, and certainly doesn't do the non-custodial parent any good. But I encourage those, there is one caveat to this, that if they have a family court capias, it is imperative that they go to family court and resolve that capias. You know, there are situations where the courts will or can incarcerate somebody, but I can tell you that is rare. If a non-custodial parent turns themselves in on a family court capias, and if there's already an order in place, can make a lump sum payment or makes any kind of a payment, the courts will be more accommodating and obviously work with that non-custodial parent. But if there's no court order, most of the time the courts are just going to reschedule that non-custodial parent to show up for the next, you know, the next court hearing is on such and such a date, and you need to show up for this hearing. Or go get genetic testing as the courts had previously ordered. They're not, in the child support program, is not looking to incarcerate non-custodial parents. So please share that. If you know a non-custodial parent, have them call child support and we will work with them. It says here, my ex got a check for $4,700 and is called but sits on hold for too long to find out what the money is for. So, you know, also this morning there was an inquiry to our Facebook page, and that's another way if you have a question about your child support case and if you can't get a hold of someone through our customer service lines, you can use Facebook and we'll try to get to your question to your child support specialist who can, you know, relay the answer through the office of the director and we'll respond back to you. So I can tell you already this. I'm in the office today. This is my office up here in Newcastle County. That's where our customer service unit is located. Oftentimes, often it's more times than I would like to actually hear. I'm hearing that people are on hold to reach our customer service unit over 20, 25, 30 minutes. And I've said this before. If you're on hold for our customer service unit, if you're on hold for any more time than 30 minutes, 20 minutes, you know, between 20 and 30 minutes, hang up and call back in. There's a problem. And I can tell you this, that today, sitting here in my office, I saw an email come up that we are, the call volume is very high today. Part of that is that we were off on Friday for the Easter holiday. The Good Friday holiday was on Friday. So on Mondays in general, we have a higher phone volume of people calling into the child support office. Add a holiday into the mix, and that call volume goes up. But there was an email that was already sent out this morning to increase the number of available lines to help people help those child support specialists in our customer service unit to add more child support specialists on the phones to help ease that wait time and to ease the amount of time that people are on hold. But if you're on hold for any more than, I'm going to just say 25 minutes, because I cut it right in the middle, I'm encouraging people to hang up and call back in. You should not be on hold. And sometimes there's glitches with our phone system. And I would just encourage you to have your ex call back in, and someone will be able to help him answer that question. But I've already seen this morning that the call volume is high. We've asked other child support specialists to help the customer service unit to get on the phones and to help ease that burden. So hopefully he can reach someone, or she can reach someone in our office, and they'll be able to help answer his or her question. The other thing I'm always been told to mention when we do these Facebook Live events is sometimes we get repeat questions in the chat. If we do, I'm just going to encourage people to go back into watch this video at a later date because I've already answered a particular question or not. And from time to time, you will see my community relations officer also help with questions that are in the chat, and he's also assisting with responding to some of these inquiries. So just speaking about our customer service unit, I always indicate, working in our customer service unit has got to be one of the more difficult positions here at Child Support. Last year, our customer service unit answered where someone actually wanted to talk to someone. I think it was like 68,000 telephone calls, 66,000 telephone calls from the public. We have an automated assistance line that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that that automated assistance line gets somewhere around like 1 million phone calls a year. But it just gives our customers an opportunity to check on child support payments and to check on status of their particular case. I'm always trying to encourage people too. We have a customer website that is different than just our child support website. The customer website, where there's actually instructions on our child support website, will allow a client or a non-custodial parent, as long as you have a case number, you can go into the customer website and review your child support case, have access to an account statement, talk to your worker electronically, and actually communicate with your worker on next steps related to your child support case. And you can provide employer information, updated address information. And I always encourage custodial and non-custodial parents, if you have not signed up for our customer website, you can go to our Facebook page. There's hands-on, step-by-step instructions on how to enroll in the customer website. And you can go to our general child support website. I always tell people, go through de.gov, delaware.gov, go to the child support agency. On our website, there is information about the customer website. You want to have access to your case. You want to know what your account statement looks like. You want to print that account statement from home. I encourage people to sign up for that customer website. It's so it allows you to have access to your child support case that most people don't have. If you have trouble signing up for that customer website, you can call our customer service unit, and there's people there that can help you log into the customer website and actually be able to have access to your child support case. So, as we wait for more questions to come in, I wanted to also let you know that last year we collected about $97 million in child support. That's a huge dollar amount. I'm so happy for all of the families that we could help with those collections. One of the things that I always wanted to do, I've been the child support director since April of 2015. I've always have wanted to try and collect over $100 million here in the state of Delaware. We've never done that. I think the most we've ever collected since I've been around the child support community has been about $98 million. Last year we collected $97 million. I'm hoping that this year we will also be able to increase collections. In Delaware, we actually log about 63% of our child support payments from employers, other state agencies, from the federal government. We actually log about 63% of those payments electronically through electronic funds transfer. That's a huge asset to the child support program. Payments get sent to us electronically. They're applied to folks' child support cases quicker and more accurately, and then they are sent out to custodial and non-custodial parents through direct deposit through our U.S. Bank issued Relia card, also through an electronic means. So that is so timely. Who wants to wait for a check to come in the mail? You know, we write so very few checks these days. We actually, at one time, this was back around in the early 2000s, we were sending out about 650,000 child support checks a year. We don't do that anymore because everything we do now is electronic. It's more secure. It's safer for our clients and safer for those that we serve. And then we still do send out about 5,000 checks a year, but it's very few and far between. More and more people, and it's actually mandated by law here in the state of Delaware, that if you're going to be a child support client, you have to sign up for the first, or not, it used to be the First Aid Family Card, but U.S. Bank card, the Relia card issued by U.S. Bank, or through direct deposit into a credit union account, a bank account, and something along those lines. So, we certainly like that process a lot better, and I think our clients do too, and it gets those payments sent to people timely and quicker. As I look at this, some stats about those electronic payments, I was wrong. It's 68% of those payments are received electronically and sent out to our recipients. So we're very, very, very pleased about that. So let's take a few minutes. I want to talk a little bit about our proactive customer notification system. So I mentioned earlier that in late April, early May, we are looking to launch a new proactive customer notification system, also known, we're going to call it as the PCN. And this is going to work with non-custodial and custodial parents who have a child support case with us. And if we have your either your email address or your cell phone number, we're going to send out a welcome email that will let people know, hey, we've got this new notification system, and you can either accept that you want to receive messages from us electronically, or you can opt out, say you don't want to receive those messages. But we are going to be able to communicate with you electronically. There's everything from a payment came in and dispersed to your account to our offices are closed because of a winter snowstorm or something along those lines. So it's called the Proactive Customer Notification System, and we have to have a good phone number, cell phone, or a email address in our computer system for you to receive these messages. So we are really looking forward to being proactive in how we reach out to our customers and give them an opportunity to see and receive messages from us here at Child Support. I see a new comment has come in. The question is, how do I get in contact with a caseworker who is working on my case? I have called the main number and left a message with the person's voicemail. I was also transferred to, but don't know his name, but have not received a call back. Could someone contact me, or please give me the contact number? Absolutely. So, Ms. O'Connor, I'm going to tell you a couple things here. I previously mentioned, I think this is something you should definitely take advantage of if you haven't yet, signing up for our customer website. And you can go onto our go onto our website, just our general child support website, and there's information about how to sign up for the customer website. That way, that will give you another way to communicate with your worker directly through the customer website. But our child support customer service unit's telephone number is area code 302-577-7171. And you can call that number, and a child support specialist, when you call that number, if you want to talk to a live person, hit the number 5. and it will direct you to a child support specialist in our customer service unit, and they will hopefully be able to answer your questions. And if not, we'll be able to get you in contact with your child support specialist who is managing your child support case. But please consider enrolling in signing up for the customer website. And if we don't have your email address or a cell phone number, provide that to the child support specialist so we can then get you enrolled in, when we're ready to launch it, the proactive customer notification system. So you can receive messages directly from the child support office. There's another question here. What can I do if I am paying child support for kids I can't see because they are being kept from me and I have been blocked on all media, social media, and numbers? So I'm glad you brought this up, and we talk about this from time to time. The first thing I want to say is this: please keep paying the child support, because in the state of Delaware, not only because I'm the director of child support, I want to continue to make those payments, but in Delaware, visitation, custody, and child support are 3 separate and distinct issues. Other states, they combine them, they make them one part of the other. In Delaware, separate. So you got to continue to make those child support payments. However, if there's an actual visitation or custody child support order, then my suggestion would be, it appears, I can't give you legal advice, but it appears that the other person is not following the existing orders that may be in place. If there isn't a visitation order in place, or there isn't a custody order in place, you can go to family court, and they have resource centers in all 3 family courts in the state of Delaware. And you can talk to someone at the family court about getting a custody order or a visitation order in place that makes both parents bound by the language in those orders. So if the person is not meeting their part of the visitation order, you can certainly file something against them for not meeting their obligation. So it's very important that you continue to pay the child support, but that if there's a visitation order and the other party is not meeting their obligation of the visitation order, there's things that you can do with the help of the resource center at family court, a private attorney. But the resource center is so people can file documents at court on their own without the need of paying for an attorney. So I suggest you take advantage of that opportunity. But don't, the one thing that I always encourage people to do is don't stop making those child support payments. That will only work against you, and it can never help you. So I encourage you to do that. So going back and talking about the proactive customer notification system. So, it's just one more way that child support can reach out to our clients. And when I say clients, I mean custodial parents, I mean non-custodial parents. It's always something valuable being informed, about the way that child support is handling your case. And we want to be able to notify custodial parents when a payment comes in and is applied to their child support case. Or we want to notify non-custodial parents, for that matter, when a payment was due and we haven't gotten a payment from you, and we want to notify you that a payment was actually due on your child support case. We're looking for ways to help both parents manage the child support case. A custodial parent has to manage the case. A non-custodial parent also has to manage their child support case, and we're here to help them do that. So it's always good to try and work together for the benefit of the children involved, and we want to play a part of that. So I also, while we got some time, I also wanted to talk a little bit about our Delaware Fatherhood Program, and I do talk about the Fatherhood Program quite a bit, because I don't think that enough people in the state of Delaware are actually taking advantage of it. So in Delaware, we have even though, and I always catch a little backlash for this, even though it is called the Delaware Fatherhood Program, this program is open to custodial parents who are females, custodial parents who are males, non-custodial parents who are females, non-custodial parents who are males. It's just called the Delaware Fatherhood Program. But if you are a part of the child support program here in the state of Delaware, and you're looking for either better employment opportunities, say you're working, but you want to make more, you want to be able to earn a livable wage that will help you manage your own financial situation, but also help you pay your child support order. We have folks here at the Child Support Office that can help you find better employment opportunities. So I'm always encouraging people to reach out to us, whether it's through the Facebook page or calling our customer service unit. We have access to employment and training staff who will do an assessment and determine what your strengths and weaknesses are, and help steer you into a career, not just a job, but a career that will make you more employable. So I'm always encouraging people to call us, even if you're paying child support, but you think you could earn more in another career. I'm always encouraging people to call our child support office, ask for a referral to the Delaware Fatherhood Program, and we will help you hook you up with a employment and training personnel who can help you get better employment. Say you're in family court and you're at a mediation session and you're not working. You could talk to the mediator at family court about the Delaware Fatherhood Program. They know about that program, and they, with the help of a child support specialist, can help you enroll in the Delaware Fatherhood Program. Family court commissioners and our attorneys at the Department of Justice, they can help you too. They want to help people get hooked up in our fatherhood program, because they can help with education. You need help with a GED, getting a GED, we can help you do that. You want to help finding a better place of employment, we can help you do that. But you got to talk to a child support specialist and tell them you want a referral to the Delaware Fatherhood Program, and we can help you do that. Right now, it's a little bit more difficult because things are being done virtually, but it still can happen today. And it's just important that you take advantage of the opportunities we have available at child support. I just looked at recent payments that we received from our unemployment office. They continue to increase the number of people who are filing for unemployment here in Delaware. We have a way of intercepting child support payments from the unemployment claims that are being filed at family court. If you have a child support case, your child support and you're collecting unemployment, your child support will be deducted directly from your unemployment check. But we don't like doing that. We'd rather you be working and have wage withholding, an order of income withholding sent to your employer, and have them help by making a deduction to your paycheck every pay period and sending it to the child support office. That's one thing I often try to do, is to praise employers here in the state of Delaware and around the country, because they are one of the most vital stakeholders, and they're so important to the child support program that we couldn't do it without them. We receive such a huge amount of our child support payments here in the state of Delaware directly from employers, and we could not do it. They deserve a big pat on the back for the work they do. We just cannot do that. So we'll do it without them. So it's so important that people are employed and that payments be sent from their employers through an order of income withholding and sent directly to the child support office. In practically every case, 99.9% of the cases, in the court orders that are issued by family court, they will direct that the employer make those payments to the child support office. So if you're working, if you get a new place of employment, a new job, it's important to call child support. Call them quickly. Call us quickly. 577-7171, and let us know where you're working. Or send the information to your child support specialist through that customer website so we can issue that new order of income attachment. One of the biggest mistakes non-custodial parents make, either when they get a new place of employment or when they've got a new order and the courts tell child support to send a new wage withholding to the employer, the biggest mistake non-custodial parents do or make is not sending payments in as they're getting paid. The wage withholding has not been received by the employer yet, but the non-custodial parent is getting paid, no deduction is being made, and they do not send those payments to the child support office on their own until the wage withholding takes effect at their employer. So on every court order for child support in the state of Delaware, it talks about a couple options for non-custodial parents to make payments. One is to mail it. There's a P.O. box on every court order for child support that talks about where to mail a check or money order with your name and either your social security number or your case number listed on it. Mail the payment to the child support office at the address listed on the court order. Or in Newcastle County only, not in Kent and not in Sussex County, we have a drop box available hours of the day and night. It's located outside, and you can drop your payment in that drop box. We do not have those drop boxes in Kent and Sussex County. You have to mail the child support payments upstate to our state disbursement unit located in the Newcastle County office. So it's very important to do that, and you can do that that way. The other way, and this is even better, is through a website called iPay Online. And iPay Online allows you to make a payment from a credit card, debit card, or from a bank account electronically, and have that payment electronically sent to the child support office. That is the quickest way. You can set up a one-time payment, you can set up a reoccurring payment, and it's just so efficient and timely that you can do it so quickly, and it will expeditiously get to the child support office, and we can apply that payment to your child support case. So I'm encouraging people to look at that, to look at the court order, because the court order has a lot of valuable information. The other place that has a lot of valuable information is our website. And I don't often tout the website for child support, but if you go there, if you have a question and you don't feel like waiting on the telephone to our customer service unit, my suggestion is go to the website first. Tons and tons and tons of valuable information about how to make a payment, how to, if you're an employer, how to set up a wage withholding. If you want to know more about the customer website, if you want to know more about our application for services website, if you want to know more about the Delaware Fatherhood Program, if you want to learn more about all of our enforcement tools, the Tax Intercept Program, the Credit Bureau Reporting Program, if you want to know how we can intercept a lump sum payment from a personal injury lawsuit or a workers' compensation claim, there's tons of information on that website about our enforcement tools, and I encourage everyone to go look at it. It's so much valuable information about our child support program, and I think that's an overlooked bit of information about some of the things that we're doing here in the state of Delaware about how we handle child support in the first state. One of the other important things, and part of the reason why I do these Facebook Live videos every month, is that I'm all about providing the public with child support information. And I also, on the third Wednesday of every month, do a 1 hour segment with WGMD 92.7 down in Sussex County. It's an hour with Jake Smith talking about child support in the state of Delaware, as well as answering questions from the public. And since I've been doing that, I've been doing it for about a year now, over a year. Every time I've gone there once a month, we've had interesting questions come in. And so I always encourage people, listen to the radio. Even if you don't have a question, you might hear something that you'll find as valuable information. But I'm always encouraging people to call and ask questions. And one of the things I have not really talked to Jake about is that if you have a smartphone, I encourage you to download the 92.7 WGMD app. I live up in Kent County, work up in Newcastle County, and can log into their radio station by the app, and it is it's very quality information. Like it's not static. I can hear what's being discussed. I encourage people to download that app, and the third Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Third Wednesday of every month, I'm on the radio with Jake, and I'm encouraging people that call and ask questions, because I love to be able to answer your questions on the radio, on this Facebook Live, our Child Support Connection hourly event each month. And I just encourage people to call in and ask questions. And there's a new question in our chat today. I'm waiting on the tax intercept, hopefully. This time of year, collections at the Child Support Office increases. And a part of that has to do with our federal and state tax refund intercept program. And people are filing their 2020 income tax, and Child Support has a process set up with the IRS and with the state of Delaware's Division of Revenue that if someone is going to receive a refund and they owe child support over $150 for, I believe it's the federal income tax program, or $500 for the local Division of Revenue program, we will submit them to their names and social security numbers and all that valuable information to the IRS. And if the person, it's very important, if the person if they don't file their taxes, we're not going to have an opportunity to intercept anything. And if they do not get a refund, if they file their taxes and they owe, we're not going to intercept any kind of a refund. But if they are due a refund and they owe arrears, we should have submitted them, and we should be able to intercept those that refund for the purposes of paying child support. Now, one of the things that's important is that if the non-custodial parent is currently married, and him and his current spouse, or she and her current spouse, file a joint tax return, and they're due a refund, we here at the Child Support Office we're obligated to hold those refunds for 6 months. If they file a joint tax return, we're obligated to hold them for 6 months to give the non-custodial parent's current spouse an opportunity to file is quickly slipped my an injured spouse form. That's what it's called, an injured spouse form with the IRS, so that they can claim their portion of the tax refund. It's the non-custodial parent's obligation to pay child support. It's not their current spouse's obligation to pay it. So we're obligated to make sure that current spouse gets their portion of the tax refund. Now, if 6 months goes by and that current spouse does not file that injured spouse, we can certainly go ahead and move those payments out to the custodial parent. But we certainly have to wait those 6 months. And sometimes I know that it frustrates custodial parents that we're holding these tax intercept payments. There's nothing more that I would like to just send those payments out, but we have an obligation to that spouse to make sure that he or she gets their portion, and gives them an opportunity to file an injured spouse form directly with the IRS. So I'm hoping, ma'am, that the non-custodial parent is going to get a refund, and that we can intercept that refund and send that payment out to you. You know, one of the things that's also important to say is this, that if specifically for the IRS tax intercepts, that if the custodial parent has been on TANF, that's temporary assistance to needy families, and there is an arrears balance owed to the state of Delaware for when the non-custodial parent failed to pay current support when the custodial parent was on TANF, and those arrears accrued, the state is going to take the IRS portion of that intercept to pay off any TANF arrears. So, you know, I'm going to try to explain something that often is separate than this is not a part of the tax program. So, but it just occurred to me that sometimes people don't understand exactly how arrears accrue. So the courts may say, and I'm going to keep it simple, that every month a non-custodial parent's obligation is $100 a month in current support. If the non-custodial parent pays $100 in current support that month, no arrears are going to accrue. If the non-custodial parent pays $95 in that month, the arrears is going to accrue in the amount of $5. So it's all based on the current support obligation met by the that was missed by the non-custodial parent in a respective month. If the non-custodial parent is ordered to pay $100 in current support and pays $100, $0 will accrue towards the arrears balance. It's only those missed payments. Now, sometimes the parties will file, the custodial parent may file for a modification. The non-custodial parent gets a new job or gets a promotion and makes more. We at Child Support can file for a modification and hopefully have the court order increased. So, and the courts will order a new order from the date that the petition was filed with the family court. So let's say the current support obligation is $100. Non-custodial parents meeting that $100 obligation, no arrears are accruing. We take the non-custodial parent back into family court for a modification. If the courts decide, based on the child support calculation, that the non-custodial parent should be paying $150 a month, they may go retroactive and create an arrears balance based on the retroactivity of that higher amount. And we at Child Support will enter that court order in the child support system retroactively, automatically creating an arrears balance. So that's the second way that there can be an arrears balance accruing on a particular child support case. And sometimes the courts will order a small payment on the arrears to make sure that those arrears are being paid off, and increase a wage withholding sent to an employer. So in that example I just gave, if the courts create a new current support obligation for $150, they may say, in addition to that, every month you're going to pay $5 for a total obligation of $155 per month to come out of the non-custodial parent's paycheck to be paid on that child support case. When we issue an order of income withholding to an employer, we will, in that wage withholding, we also send the non-custodial parent a copy, just so he knows or she knows, hey, we're sending a modified wage withholding to your employer. But it tells that employer, if you pay on a weekly basis, this is what you should be deducting from the non-custodial parent's paycheck. If you pay on a bi-weekly, every 2 weeks, this is what you should be deducting. If you pay on the 15th and the last day of the month, semi-monthly, this is what you should be deducting. Or if you pay on a monthly basis, this is what you should be deducting. So we outlined for the employer, based on a potential paycheck issuing date, what that amount will be to send into the child support office. So but sometimes custodial parents don't understand how those arrears accrue. It's based off of the current support obligation that has been missed in child support payments each month. Our child support, the child support system, we call it the Delaware Child Support System, calculates all child support orders on a monthly basis. So if an employer is sending it in every 2 weeks, our system knows that every 2 weeks we're supposed to receive a certain dollar amount, and once we get that payment, we apply it and it calculates correctly. But it's every month our child support system will calculate what the obligation is. So I'm certainly hoping that I answered your question about the Tax Intercept program, and additionally expressed our frustration, of having to hold those payments, especially with those joint filings. But we certainly have to make sure that the obligations are being met, and that we're being able to make sure the current spouse is getting their portion of that tax refund, because it's not their obligation. More times, the other fact of that is, more times than not, that current spouse is saying, I'm going to help my non-custodial parent pay that arrears balance off quicker, take my portion of the payment, and they don't file that injured spouse form, and we allow those payments. They allow those payments graciously enough to be applied to the arrears. And one thing too, when we intercept a lump sum payment, be it from a tax intercept, be it from a claim, our relationships with insurance companies, our relationships with attorneys here in the state of Delaware, when someone goes into the casino and hits, over $1,200, we have the ability to intercept those winnings. The thing that non-custodial parents have to remember, I know it's frustrating. You want to receive that tax refund. You want to receive that winning at the casino. Remember this: that payment is coming to the child support office. It's helping you pay down those arrears faster, and it's going out to the custodial parent to help support your child. And the one thing that I always like to remind non-custodial parents: get that debt paid off quicker. Reduce that obligation that's coming out of your paycheck every month, because we're sending a wage withholding for current support, and that child support arrears. We have the ability to remove that arrears payment and make it just a current support obligation once you paid those arrears off. That is a debt that can get paid and get removed, and one less thing as a non-custodial parent you have to worry about. It's just one less problem, one less worry that you have to deal with, and certainly you could pay that obligation off and get back on with your reducing that obligation, and you can feel good about it. Hey, that obligation I owed. And it can be satisfied, and the obligation can be done. So here's a new question. We're getting close to the end. So if you have a question, we have about 7 minutes, 6 minutes left. I'm going to read the next question. But if you have a question, get it in now, and we can go through, and hopefully I can address your concerns. And then if you don't have an opportunity, I'm encouraging people, call in 92.7 WGMD the third Wednesday of the month, and I'm going to be there in April. I'm hoping I'm going to be vaccinated for get my second dose in the next couple weeks. I'm hoping to actually, if Jake will allow me, to be in studio with him in the month of May. And I've missed going down to Sussex County and actually being with Jake and actually talking on the radio. So I'm doing it remotely. Hopefully April will be my last month, and I can go back down and actually have in-person meeting with him in the month of May. So this question comes from Kimberly. Hello, how does Delaware Child Support enforce a Delaware order when the non-custodial parent moved out of state to the state of Nevada? He is currently $23,000 in arrears and not currently paying. Kimberly, thank you for this question. You know, first and foremost, and we've talked about this in the past, every state in the country has a child support agency. There are also 4 or 5 territories that have a child support agency that the state of Delaware works with. We communicate with other states around the country. We communicate with other countries around the globe about child support. The fact that you, Kimberly, have a Delaware order, that's half the battle. My hope is this. I'm always about keeping it simple. And we can continue to enforce the Delaware order directly with employers around the country. And my hope is that, and I'm going to ask for a couple things. One, if you haven't done it yet, contact the Child Support Customer Service Unit, 577-7171, and talk to the child support specialist about what information we may have in our child support system about a possible employer, or if there's any kind of information from the non-custodial parent directly. Maybe he's called and has provided us with an employer in the state of Nevada. We want to try to enforce the case continuously as a Delaware case without having to get the state of Nevada involved. If you feel like you want to send a direct message through Facebook, our community relations officer can work with me and work with the child support specialist assigned to your case to check on the status and see if we can work directly with an employer in the state of Nevada and continue to work with the non-custodial parent and the Delaware courts on enforcing your child support case. Let's say, for instance, he is not willing to work with us. We can engage the state of Nevada to help us by sending them what we call a UIFSA transmittal. That's the way that we communicate with other states about Delaware child support cases, that we need their help to enforce the child support order. And they will create and open a case in the state of Nevada, engage their court system for us here in the state of Delaware to help us enforce the child support case. I'm also and then they basically, if we transfer the case to Nevada, they're working that case on behalf of us and on behalf of you to get the non-custodial parent to start falling in line to help us work the case. So if you provided more information, he has a job in Nevada. Not to get too in the weeds, but there is a system, a United States process called the National Directory of New Hires. If an employer in the state of Nevada has hired him, they are obligated to report to the State Directory of New Hire in the state of Nevada, up to the federal government, to the National Directory of New Hires, and provide us with a place of employment. So I'm encouraging you, Kimberly, to provide us, and you can send a direct message to our community relations officer, and he'll get that information to me through Facebook about your case number. And we will look the case up and see if we've received information from the National Directory of New Hires, and did we send a Delaware order of income attachment to that employer? Have we received information from the employer that he quit that job and is no longer working there? But the goal is to send them a wage withholding from the state of Delaware that they can send the payments directly to Delaware. If he has moved on, they will let us know. Or if they have not received our wage withholding and we can send them one, we will do that so that they can make payments to Delaware directly. So send us that information through Facebook I'm also going to encourage you, like I encouraged an earlier person who left a comment. If you have not signed up for our customer website, that will help you engage your child support specialist here in the state of Delaware. You can send them an email through that customer website, and they will be able to respond back to you. Go to de.gov, look for state agencies, come to the child support website, and there's information for you to sign up for that customer website. Please do that. But contact customer service, 577-7171, and you can speak to a child support specialist about next steps. And then please go back, Kimberly, and look at this video earlier if you haven't been out for the whole hour. We're going to be setting up a proactive customer notification system. So if we don't have your email address or we don't have your cell phone number, please give it to our child support specialist, and we're going to be able to communicate with you directly via those means, email or text messaging. In the month of April and May, we're going to kick off a new program that will engage people in communicating with people electronically. So I'm going to conclude the April Child Support Connection event. Please stay tuned on April 21st. Download the 92.7 WGMD app, and you can listen anywhere in the state, anywhere around the country, to my 1-hour session with Jake Smith, and sign up for our customer website. That's a great way to communicate with your worker. I will see everybody, Child Support Connection in May, on May 3rd. So please stay tuned for that event and have your questions ready. And when you're calling customer service here in the first state, be calm. But if you're on hold longer than 30 minutes, hang up and call back. And stay safe, everybody. We're close. Get your vaccines. Sign up for vaccinations here in the first state. Wear your mask. Socially distance. We're in this together, but follow the state's protocols. We are working as a division of DHSS, the Department of Health and Social Services here in the state of Delaware. We are all in this together. We support what our colleagues at the Division of Public Health are doing. We support what our governor is doing to keep Delaware safe. Please follow those protocols. We're almost done. And we're all in this together, and stay safe. And come back in the month of May, on May 3rd at 11:30, and we'll do this all over again. Thank you again, and take care.